Hey there, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the leg up hamstring stretch. Now, this is an incredible stretch for your hamstrings, and if you find that your lower back hurts when you're doing the traditional hamstring stretch, where you're standing and bending over to touch your toes, then I highly recommend you guys do this one. This one's going to take a lot of that pressure off of that lower back area, and it's going to place it right on the hamstrings, which is what you want in the first place. Now, granted, this one is going to require some balance, but I'm going to give you some tips today that are going to help you kind of stabilize your legs. That way you can hold this stretch for a longer period of time and get the most benefits from it. At the end of the video, we're going to be talking about some of the common mistakes that I want you guys to avoid. That way you can get the most out of it and do it safely. First thing you're going to want to do is get a box that's around, I would say, knee height. That way you can get a good stretch, and then make sure that you're bending over properly. But before we continue, here's a word from today's video sponsor.
I'm today's video sponsor, and if you'd like help losing fat or gaining muscle, there are a few ways I can help you down below. Either set up a free consultation with us, purchase through one of our free affiliate links, or purchase one of our instant access affordable training programs. Can't wait to be of service to you. Now let's get back to the rest of the video.
Like I said, you want to make sure that you're bending over properly and that you're trying your best to maintain a flat back. Now, the main thing you want to do here is make sure that your feet are not too close together when you start. You actually want to stand shoulder width apart before you even put your leg up, and then put a leg up. And also make sure that you're far enough away to where the heel of the stretched leg is in the center of the box. Because if you're too close, then what's going to end up happening is your calves are going to end up being on the box there, which makes it incredibly uncomfortable and not very effective. So make sure that you're standing far enough back to where you can bring your leg up and that your heel is basically at the center of the box there, like I said. Next thing I want you guys to be focusing on is making sure that you keep that back leg that's not being stretched flat and really dig that into the ground. Don't try to tippy toe or stay up high with that back leg, because then you're going to start losing balance. That's why I said at the beginning of this video that if you struggle a lot with balance, then this one would work for you, obviously, but you have to make sure that you improve your balance in the process, because if not, you're going to be basically holding for like 2 to 5 seconds every time, which is not long enough for the stretch to start taking effect. Now, with that said, I highly recommend that you hold this. Try your best to hold it for a minimum of 20 seconds, and then switch legs and keep doing that for approximately 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how much you want to stretch and how much you need to stretch. Another key thing is to make sure that you keep that front leg completely flat, straight, not bent. You don't want to be bending your knees when you're doing this. If you are bending your knees and you find that you can't reach over to touch your toe, then I highly recommend you guys do a different stretch that'll help you work your way up to this one. Now, here's some common mistakes I want you to avoid. Like I said, don't bend your knee, because then you negate the stretch. Also, make sure that you actually stretch over. Don't just limit your range. Another common mistake is reaching over with the same side arm. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you're not bending your knee excessively in the front leg.